This spiritual stuff is like the never ending story. And I say that with all due respect. So, in the last 2 days, I keep seeing these experiences. People are talking, and I'm seeing their childhood shadowing their experience in the now. And when I see these things, by the way, this is my selenite. Look how huge it is. It's huge. When I see these things, I imagine, I can see them as a child. But sometimes when I see this stuff, I forget that I'm seeing it so I can see myself in the mirror. So I'm like, oh my gosh. So my brain goes into, let me break this down. So with my friends today, I could see that the thought she had chosen as a little girl in what she chose to believe the situation as was creating this result in her current life experiences. And tonight, for the first time, I could see that coding my experience. And when you see it coding your experience, for me, it brought like a panic, because I was thinking, oh my gosh, I don't want to recreate that thought. But how do you get out of a thought that keeps looping you into a reoccurrence in your life? And it doesn't matter how wonderful it starts off, the reoccurrence will be the reoccurrence. And that is whatever your thought was when you were a child. So, can you think back to when you were a child, and can you remember a thought that you experienced that is shadowing what the end result of an experience is? For instance, I'll give you as my example, my storyline, only as an example. I do this thing where I give a lot and then I feel like I don't get it back, but then I don't feel comfortable receiving it back. So I feel like I'm always giving, but I'm not receiving that back. So even only recently, I said to my friend, who also does the same thing, to for her and I to like make a pact with ourselves, and we're not going to do that. And I thought that pact would conclude it. But now, based on the theory of the information that I've discovered through other people as my reflection, I can see that the pact wouldn't mean anything, because it's not what I say in the moment that will give me the results in the future. It's all based on your belief system that you have within yourself. So as long as that belief system, I give and I get nothing back, no matter how many different times I affirm a different experience, I will only experience what I chose as my belief system. So now I'm on the cusp of seeing that, and I'm freaked out of recreating that experience in my life, because I now know that the affirmation is not what changes it. And now I'm in the precipice of seeing that I want to change that belief system. But I wanted to share with you, you feel like when you go up against that belief system, there's a helpless feeling involved in that. So I'm up against this helpless feeling. This is when only the Divine Mother and Father, or whatever your belief system is of your higher self, or what you work on, is fine. It's only in these moments I need help and I'm alone. And in theory, it sounds like you can do it alone, but in reality, you're doing it alone, but you're doing it with your light family, if you so choose. So I thought I'd take you on the ride, because because I haven't done this in a long time, is take you on the ride with me here. Divine Mother and Father, I see that I have a belief system that says I give and that I can't receive back, and that I'm not even thought of as valuable, and that my value is only in the giving. And I see that. It's, first of all, painful, but more importantly, it's creating a painful experience over and over again, like Groundhog Day, and it's, I want to stop. What could be the thoughts that we could have to replace that? Because I'm no longer willing and desiring to have those thoughts. What would a new picture look like for me? So I need inspiration. Because the reality is I still have to do the work. Like, even with the inspiration, I'm still going to have to do the work, right? I'm going to have to want to move that. They're like words, I can see them. And in the words is this energy. And the energy took shape. And it took shape for this entire time that I've been here on Earth. So you can imagine how seriously, no joke this is. But let's not focus on me. Let's focus on you. And I'll focus on me. So that's where I begin. The big old chunky selenite to assist me with, which was Fabiola gave me that. I went to her going away party. I was like, oh my God, what is that? I was holding it. And she's like, you seem so attached to it. You should have it. And I was like, really? Oh, that's perfect. But that's not true, that I don't come to give and I don't receive, because that's not true. Look at the selenite. I did receive. So there's the lie that I've been telling myself. I did. And it's only one part of the story that's only creating one portion of my life, not all of it. And that's helping. See how, like, the inspiration comes through the story? I'm telling you, this is how I'm getting through it all. It's like, oh, yeah, okay, did. And then I'm not determined to go back to the old thinking. I'm determined to go to this new thinking. And what did that feeling feel like when she invited me to take this home? I was like, wow, really? Thank you so much. And today I meditated. I had it all different parts of my body. I had it up on my throat and all that stuff. And I was thinking, because I just bought new crystals to make this really fun water. I'll share it with you on the next video. And I thought today, as I was putting this big giant piece of selenite on all different parts of my body, I was thinking, I don't think I've ever seen this big of a selenite. I was just at the crystal shop. I didn't see anything like this at all. It's just like a whole nother level of selenite. And it really feels good to be utilizing it right now at a really important time in my life. So I feel really grateful. And I can now remember how good it feels to receive, and how I went to give to her an appreciation of how much I enjoyed meeting her before her move. And she gave to me something to remember her by. So thank you so much. This means the world. And not only does it mean so much, but it's the first remembrance I had of a beautiful exchange of give and take. And it's not that I haven't had any of those, but I'm moving old word patterning and replacing it. So I needed a story, and this is what Spirit provided me with. So that's huge. I know that a lot of people are going through it. A lot of people are, like, my friend is divorcing. I mean, people are ending marriages and ending long-term relationships and stuff. I mean, it's pretty serious because they attracted that patterning. So it was really a lesson instead of what they were hoping it would be. And really, I think, to be honest with you, I think we're all meant to be just lessons for one another in one way or the other. And I would like to think that I'm the most ideal lesson you can have. But the truth of the matter is, someone that feels like they're always giving and not receiving back is going to be a bitch in the end. So I've been a bitch to people. Been like literally bitching. You know, bitch is just bitching, right? So I've definitely bitched about it and felt frustrated and, you know, stop being someone's friend and all that stuff. So I can just tell you I've been many people's lessons based on that, right? Because I was recreating it and I didn't know that I was recreating to see it. I was recreating it, and, you know, so much love all of us give to our relationships and so much care. So to have these repeating stories have been really hard for all of us. And when when I identified it in my friend today, I just saw her little girl she's telling me what's going on, and all I'm seeing is this little girl that has felt like that for so long. And now I can see that my little girl has been feeling like that for so long. So I'm so glad that I figured out Groundhog Day and was able and am able right now to settle into it. So it's not done. This is one portion of it, but it's nice to be able to share it with you guys, right? Because that's what initiated these videos to begin with, is to share the experience so we can all grow from what each of us know or are able to grapple in this land of amnesia. So much amnesia. What if we find out there's a button that we just push, like right here or something, and we push that button and then there's no amnesia? That would be awesome. Yeah, let's work on that theory. Anyways, thank you for sharing this moment, and we will talk soon.